Taos puso po kaming nagpapasalamat sa kanila. Of course, all of our mayors and all of our first responders and my colleagues here po, my PJN family. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Gov. Now we'll hear from Secretary Ben-Hur for the DILG sit rep.
Mic test. Good afternoon, Mr. President. Of course, to our Governor Manotoc, Congressman Marcos, Congressman Barba, to all the officials of Ilocos Sur and Ilocos Norte. Just to add to what the Governor said per our report. Next, please. Lahat po ng local chief executives, wala pong umabsent, wala po nasa labas ng bansa o nasa Maynila. All of them in both Ilocos Sur, Norte, and La Union, lahat po talagang sila nag-manage no, nung lugar po nila, nung bagyo. So makikita po natin dito sa slide. Next, please. In Ilocos region, makikita po talagang grabe ang sinanata ng baha such that the provincial government has to declare a state of calamity and cancellation of classes and work. No? And as stated, there were 3 deaths here. In the evacuation center at the height of the typhoon, 1,395 families were in the evacuation center for a period of approximately 3 days. Next, please. Sir, ito, baka kulang pa ito. No? Ito lang na ano ng aming mga field officers, more or less roads, bridges, school buildings, and estimated cost of damages. And I would like to congratulate the officials dahil tama po si Governor. From day 1, next, talagang they were on top of things. Talagang nag-distribute na ho kagad sila ng mga pagkain po at umikot po lahat po ng mga mayors at lahat po ng opisyales ng Ilocos Norte. Ganun din po sa Ilocos Sur. Sa Ilocos Sur ay there were 16 evacuation center affecting 237 families for 3 days. No? There were cancellation of 4 classes and the damages to roads and bridges. 11 were impassable, not possible, and 1 bridge impassable, not possible. Suspended the seaports and flooded areas. There were 18 areas in 3 cities that were flooded in Ilocos Sur. No? So in summary, ito po mga priority needs. Anyway, na-explain naman po kanina ni Governor po ito. At Ilocos Sur, it's more of agricultural support. That's all, Mr. President.
All right. You have slides here for Region 2. Kasi Cagayan Valley, meron ding malaking naapektuhan ng mabuti.
Yes.
Well, there's the Batanes, which we already did.
Yes, sir. Ito sana i-report ko kanina about Batanes. Okay, I'll just skip.
Well, yeah, we have
I'll
that.
just
All
skip
right.
Batanes, Mr. President. I'll go straight to Cagayan. Let's go straight to Cagayan, please. The slide in Cagayan. Okay. So, ito po ang damage and impact, no? Sa Cagayan Island, there are priority
Cagayan
needs
Island, oh.
for health, food, wash, shelter, protection, and others, no? So sa health, it's a shortage in medicinal supplies due to suspended inter-island travel, medicines and vitamins. Food, ang kailangan po is 3,000 food packs, no? This is as of 6 p.m. October 3, no? Shorted in food supply due to suspended inter-island travel. Wash is all functional. Okay. Shelter, no? 57 households with damaged housing units in status. So ang kailangan po nila is housing assistance for rehabilitation and upgrading. So agriculture, status 70% of rice, flowering stage, and high value crops were damaged. Medyo malaki po, 70%. Yes, sir. So ang kailangan po nila is agricultural subsidy for survival and recovery this planting season. So, ito po ang national government response effort. Of course, si Secretary Rex, no, and OCD and the LGUs, nakalagay po rito mga ginawa po nila. So, halos 10.4 million ang binigay ng DSWD, OCD 5.2 million, LGUs 3.2 million, and the NGOs 2.9 million and other partners. Right. Family assisted were 14,247 families, sir, in Cagayan.
Okay. Thank you, Sec Ben. We move now to the response report on the responses.
Yes, Mr.
Sec,
President.
Rex.
Mr. President, I'll skip the first two slides because that's been covered by Sec Ben-Hur and Governor Matt.
Oh, yes.
I'll go back. I'll go straight to the last slide, which is the third slide. It's a bit small, Mr. President, but for Ilocos Norte, we've released, as of yesterday, 15,757 family food packs. We continuously work with the local officials because we're ready to deploy more, Mr. President, as mentioned a while ago. For the region and for Ilocos Norte, we have a standby of around close to 100,000 family food packs before the storm hit. And we are constantly augmenting that. So the request of the province for more food packs, we'll work with them on that, Mr. President. It's ready and it's in our warehouses for deployment. As for the request for the cash assistance, as mentioned a while ago, Mr. President, the moment we get the list from the LGU, we can also start processing your instruction to release cash assistance.
All right. Well, yung mayors know, alam ng mga mayor kung anong gagawin. So yun ang, I think sa food pack naman, in terms of food packs, we are,
Okay, sir.
we have the proper amount.
Yes, sir. We have more than enough, sir, to keep on going.
Okay. Now, that's right. So the next part is going to be the cash assistance, so that the households can be the ones to decide how they will spend their money and what are their needs. Okay. That's it from sa bagay. We're all up to the levels that we need to be, no? In terms of food packs, in terms of cash assistance. Wala pa dito yung mga iba lang yung sa DOLE at saka yung sa ibang agencies.
Sir, this is purely for DSWD.
Yeah, I understand. No, but even in the wala because there was for Tupad, there was a request for Tupad. Anyway, we'll deal with that when we get back to we'll get back to Manila. Because also they haven't been able to assess yet, and then to make the listing for again the mayors will have to be the ones to do that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Secretary Rex. Ayan, Manny, Sec Manny Bonwan will give us.
Thank you,
dito
Mr.
marami
President.
tayong infrastructure damage at
Thank you, Mr. President.
both regions.
As far as let me start with the national roads, Mr. President, because as a matter of protocol, in terms of calamity like this, we wanted to clear anything, clear out all the national roads to provide access to the calamity areas, actually. And I'm very glad to report, Mr. President, that there has not been any major damage along all the national roads in regions 1, 2, and CAR, except that there were actually soil collapse and fallen trees that were removed and cleared actually in 2 days' time. So everything was cleared, Mr. President, and there was no major bridge that collapsed at this point, Mr. President.
Wala tayong nakitang problema when we were flying.
The only problem that we encountered, Mr. President, is actually yung mga diking systems that have collapsed actually.
Meron mga na-erode na ilang lugar na nakita natin.
Yes, Mr. President.
Wala nang support yung
If I may, yung tinalaan natin yung first slide kung nandiyan dyan, yung Gabo o yung first slide kung nandiyan dyan pa.
taas pala ng tubig sa Sarat.
Anyway, I think the only problem, Mr. President, as far as the roads is concerned, is actually yung that we are still trying to clear out is actually the Ilocos Norte Apayao Road. For now, it's actually one lane passable for some sections.
Anong damage?
Yung mga soil collapse and some erosions.
Yeah,
in some
that's the
areas.
one that we...
That's
yung,
what
yung picture yung sa helicopter, yung pinakita mo sa akin.
Yes, Mr. President.
Ito, mga...
Mga yan.
landslide.
This is now in the...
Yung sa clearing, meron pang naiwan? O
meron pa, sir. Meron pa.
Where?
Because we will really... I think we should be able to clear everything in 2 days'
na
time.
naman, Bintar,
Yes.
Pagudpud,
Adams.
usually Adams. The road up to Adams is closed.
Next slide.
No,
please. flood control.
It's passable,
There
but
is no one
they
in
needed to
Vintar.
clear it.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw this.
We also noticed in, if I may po, in Vintar and Bangi that some of the base for the dike and also the bridge was lupa, no? It was basically earth and
Yes.
sand. So I think that was one of the causes kasi syempre the water can wash away that. No?
Next slide, please.
Itong Panshan Adams is this is just landslide, no?
Yes, Mr.
The
President.
road is okay.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Ito yung mga typical damages along the diking system. This is in Bintar. The Bintar flood control program, actually, malaki yung damages din doon.
Ito, payas na nga ako. Ito,
Anyway, at this point in time, Mr. President, we are now in the process of validating all the damages so that we can come out with the cost, the real cost of restoration that we have agreed with OCD to work out anytime soon, Mr. President.
Ito, Vintar. Flood control na naman sa Vintar. Bakit ang daming nasira na sa flood control?
Many of these,
matagal na itong mga ito eh. They survived many
many years ago.
typhoons and floods already before. Bakit?
Ito yung mga, these are the dikes that were built long time ago, yung
Yeah.
mga karamihan, Mr. President.
Yes.
So,
Well, they're just
we'll just have to rebuild them with a new way.
How can we avoid this kind of damage kung magkaroon ng similar typhoon ulit? Because before sa mga typhoon hindi nasira ito eh. Panahon ko pa ito eh. Itong mga ibang slope protection dito. Matibay naman na pag nagbabago hindi naman nasisira. Ba't kaya nasira ngayon?
I think, Mr. President, there are two things, there are phenomenon. Actually, kasi baka nag-overflow kasi yung water and brings up the dun sa other side.
Okay.
Because of silted na yung riverbeds.
Yeah, yun. That's the other thing.
Silted yung riverbeds.
Yeah.
So there is a tendency for the water to overflow. And when it comes back, doon ho na-erode yung...
Puro yung
roadside.
yung dikes, river protection, slope protection. Yun ang gusto kong malaman, what changed? Why did these survive before? Now, why did they not survive? What is, yung sa dami ng tubig?
At that time, siguro, Mr. President, the riverbeds are actually the capacity.
The thing, you know?
And they test the
Well, that's
drainage, the
That's
capacity
the
was okay.
conclusion we all came to because ang gulat ko nung lumilipad kami, grabe na pala ang siltation dito. We have to do something. Matt will figure something out. I'll talk to whoever we can talk to who can help us because when I don't remember the rivers being that shallow before. I've never seen them this shallow in all the time that I spent here in Ilocos. And they've been silted for a long time. May puno na eh. So hindi talaga na-dredge. I think that's the main problem that we're facing is a siltation. And that's what's causing all of this damage that we are seeing. That's the root. I think that's the root problem. That's the one that we have to attend to. Okay.
Yeah, I hope we can work with DNR and DPWH for this large-scale dredging po. Diba? What we've been working on.
Dito, kaming gumawa nito eh. This was fine for a long time. We built this together with the bridge. I remember.
Our program in the department, Mr. President, is to acquire more of the dredging equipment now. we've included in our program for 2025 again for the acquisition of dredging equipment. There are actually sabo dams upstream that have been
so
built.
there's all the way up to
Now we have to
Soxona.
clear also the sabo dams now. We have to desilt also the sabo dams so that
Yes.
mag-increase
But
din
we should be doing that regularly because that's a natural occurrence dun sa Sapo
Yes,
Dam.
yes,
Umiipon talaga yung buhangin sa ano.
Yes, Mr. President, yes, that's true. We have to clear out the debris that has already been trapped into the sabo dams so that it has already
Sabagay, the Sabo Dams are already what?
Nako, panahon
May 15 years na yan.
Panahon mo, sir.
Oh. I
Panahon mo,
was
sir.
still governor.
Ano sa ano yan?
So mga may 20 feet, more than 20 years na yun. Kaya kailangan talagang linisin na.
Maybe we can work it out with local governments as well, Mr. President,
Yes.
to do the desilting.
Yes, we used to do the cleaning. Panghinayan, all of these things that we built. Ito sa Ilocos Sur is mostly landslide.
Yes.
Walang damage masyado.
Wala, sir.
Ilocos Sur.
Just clearing out.
Meron ding erosion. Pero hindi masyadong mabigat ang damage sa Cervantes. Okay. Now, I think the big ticket item is going to be the agri. So, Sekiko, maybe
Mr.
you can
President,
give us your... Yes.
just before you proceed, I just wanted to thank Sec Manny Bunuan regarding what we spoke about earlier. Actually, sir, yung mga solar lights na na-install mo sa distrito ko, nung naputol yung kuryente, habang ongoing yung relief operations, kahit madilim na, wala nang araw, ay naituloy pa rin nila dahil naka-on pa rin yung mga solar lights. So a lot of the families that were stranded were able to be rescued even in the middle of the night. So I just wanted to thank the DPWH on behalf of the First District. Maraming salamat po.
Good. All right. Iko?
Mr. President, regarding agriculture, next, please. Next slide, please. Next slide. So, this is a bit data from yesterday, so let me just update it. Affected families from 13,000 yesterday, we have counted already 15,300 families affected. Hectarage pala. The 13,000 hectares ang tinamaan, but with chance of recovery as of yesterday, today it's 15,304. For affected farmers, 20,000 yesterday, today it's 26,461. Then yung volume loss yesterday was computed at 19,000 metric tons. Today we stand at about 21,000 metric tons already, and the value lost was from 481 million pesos yesterday. Our estimates today is 516 million pesos, of which if you can see in the left top ring, 72% of the loss or the damage would be rice. High value crops with small corn would be 7.43%. Next slide, please. So yan yung sa corn naman is 559 hectares, but total value lost estimate as of yesterday is 35, a little bit more today, but maybe
These are
almost
for
40.
regions 1 and 2.
This is only for the colored, yes, yung Ilocos and Cagayan. Based on the map. So each one would have the
Okay.
marker where the reports are coming from, sir. High value crops, wala masyado. Next, please. Then for livestock also, the computation is only about 500,000 pesos. And for irrigation, yung data ni GovMat is much higher, but our data as of yesterday is 92.6 million, and mostly in Cagayan and some Isabela and some Ilocos Norte. Next slide, please. Anyway, these are just details. Tuloy.
Ano ito?
Tuloy,
Farmers.
please.
Ito yung
Next.
kailangan natin.
Next. Yes, irrigation systems.
Oo. We have
So ito ho yung mga pictures ng mga tinamaan. Maraming nakadapa ho. But hopefully, umaraw-araw pa ng konti. Baka yung iba may tumayo ulit at may konting recovery tayo, sir. Next, please. So yung flooded areas yan, total damage, sir. Next, please. Ito naman yung actions taken and interventions to affected farmers. Yes. Next slide, please. So basically, these are just what we are doing right now. Next slide, please. So a total of 164 million worth of agricultural inputs are ready for distribution for rice, corn, and vegetable seeds from the regional DA field offices. Then 25,000 loanable amount from the Survival and Recovery Sure Loan Program of the ACPC, payable in 3 years at zero interest, so ready to deploy. And yung ating PCIC crop insurance indemnification. So ongoing, sir, yung ating damage assessment, and I have instructed our PCIC to expedite, hopefully after 2 to 3 weeks, maka-issue na sila ng indemnification checks to our farmers. Then sa request kanina ni Governor na 2,000 sacks of rice, kung wala yun sa OCD, I have instructed by text just a while ago yung NFA to release to your next, yung sa livestock dispersal, we have some livestock to be dispersed, but we will just need the list from the mayors and the governors kung ano yung nawala, so that hopefully we can replace them as soon as possible. Next, please. So basically yun lang, sir.
Okay. So this is the agricultural damage. Yung sa Batanes is the structures, no? That's what we will have to look after. Dito agri talaga ang naging malaking damage. Anyway, we have anong stage na ng palay in the season?
Unfortunately, it's harvesting stage
Oo
na.
nga, it's already October eh.
Yes, sir.
Magmimil na kami.
1 week na lang yata.
Magmimil na kami
harvest
next month, by January.
So yung 12,000 tons, 12,000 hectares yung na-affect din.
How much palay was destroyed? Kahit in hectareage or value?
Volume would be about 15,000 tons.
15,000 tons.
Yes, sir.
Malaki. Oh, well, we'll have to assist those farmers. Nawala yung ano nila. Nawala yung planting season nila. They lost one planting season.
Yes, sir. What's important lang now is they have to be able to replant as soon as possible. And we have the loan amounts of 25,000 per farmer na pwede mabigay from ACPC, and of course the indemnification from
Okay.
and of course the free seeds and the fertilizers and everything.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you, Kiko. Okay. Well, from the reports that we are being given, I think that the response is sufficient. We will continue, of course, to provide assistance as the days go on, and as long as it's still needed, both from the DSWD, but of course the crop insurance, kailangan natin i-process, and then the cash assistance that's being. So I think we're all right in terms of the response for both Region 1 and 2. The conclusion that the biggest conclusion I can arrive at after the flying around is the siltation. We have to think. Every town basta't may ilog, may problema ang siltation. Ngayon ko lang nakita na ganun kababaw ang mga ilog dito. I've never seen them that shallow. Kaya talagang wala pang 1 meter na lang sa ano eh. Wala nang 1 meters doon sa doon sa dike.
Sa ilalim ng tulay.
At saka it's a terrible, it's everywhere. And it will take us a long time to fix that problem, because there's so much of it. Anyway, maghahanap ako ng mga makakatulong sa atin. I will talk to some of the big companies who specialize, who are doing this. Maybe we'll have to import equipment from China, from Taiwan, wherever, para yung malalaki. We have San Miguel may bago silang machine na napakalaki eh.
That's the big one.
Baka bagay sa atin yun. Oo, baka pwedeng ilagay dito yan. And then I think your idea, government, of chopping up the areas so that everyone, we can assign already somebody for each area. So it's halos sabay-sabay. It'll be almost sabay-sabay. That's the thing that we have to do now. All right. Okay. I think in terms, at least for the response, we'll still have to assess. Hindi pa ito final. Itong mga nakikita natin, it's not yet final. We will still have to assess further in the agri. Pero yung mga displaced persons dito, wala na, nagbalikan na lahat, no? Do we still have people in the evacuation center? No more. Okay. O yun, so that is, pero meron pa rin, they will still need food packs kasi nakikitira yung iba dyan. But I think most of them will probably be back already in their own homes. Yeah, ang core problem nito is the siltation, and it's a big problem, and we'll have to do something about it. Okay. Are there any other reports anybody has that we should be hearing? Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry, if I may add very quickly lang po. There's also concern, I think, with some of the box culverts. Maybe some of the mayors can attest to this.
The box culverts?
Yeah, sa DPWH po.
Why?
Paminsan daw maliit, no? Ang box culvert for the drainage.
Like where?
We had multiple wherein the water is not able to pass, no? Kasi paminsan masyadong maliit po ang box culvert. And then if I may add lang very quickly also, LIA, Laoag International Airport, we also need a hangar for chopper for relief operations. So maybe General Romeo Bronner and Sec Gibo, Teodoro, baka you could help us po. We're trying to budget for this next year so we can house an actual chopper sa amin po. Because whenever we have a calamity, we have to wait for the chopper pa po from Manila.
We
or
have the
Clark,
EDCA site
Yes, Mr.
in
President.
Cagayan.
Plus the tactical operations
Then the tactical
group
operations
1
group,
is transferring from Baguio to Laoag.
Because it's just a response time that we have to.
Yes, sir. And the prepositioning of air assets, we need a hangar, sir, for that.
Because we always have isolated areas po that we can't reach via land, so the chopper really helps po, that we're able to drop goods for those in
But
need.
the water has gone down sufficiently that
Now it's passable
there
na,
are
yeah. Everything
So
is
where the usual Solsona, Vintar, the
Yeah.
usual places that always get
Adams,
isolated.
Pidig.
Well, Adams because of the road.
Yeah.
Adams itself doesn't get flooded. It's just that the road gets
The road, yeah.
landslide.
But a lot of our barangays become isolated with the water. Yeah. Right,
So no more
also, yeah.
isolated barangays, okay. Even here in Laoag, di ba? Hanggang Riweng na nagsasara sa Riweng. All right, okay. So again, any other matters? If there are none, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your guidance. And that concludes our situation briefing. At this juncture, may we call on Ilocos Norte Governor Matthew Marcos Manotoc to receive the check worth 100 million pesos as financial assistance from the Office of the President.